Welcome to Subramani. All of us want our children to learn about finances, but we seriously do not know how to teach. And we give amazingly stupid examples saying, when I was your age, I had to walk to college or some stuff like that. And they're going to turn to you and say, bad luck, man, you were a poor man's son, and I'm a rich man's daughter, or I'm a rich man's son. Right? So don't get into giving examples from your life. I am convinced that the 20-year-old today has far more stress than what we had as 20-year-olds. We did not have too much of choice, and choice adds stress. Make no mistake, choice adds stress. Behavior adds stress. So there are, you and I could use we could use a phone which is worth nothing, and we don't mind. But the kind of pressure that children are under to use high quality phone, wear branded clothes, and eat at branded places is huge. Understand that we did not have so much of pressure. Right? Bunking college, watching a movie, eating a vada pav could all be accommodated within the money which parents gave us for bus fare and train fare. Right? We could do that. But today's kids are very different, and your kids are under peer pressure. So if my daughter has to go from place A to place B, and she's going with some other girl or boy, that person I saw that person booking a taxi for the whole day. We never did any of those stuff. Now, I'm not getting into right, wrong, right? So first of all, understand there is pressure, and understand what you have to teach your children. So two things absolutely essential to teach your children is to read labels. Food labels and finance labels. These are very, very important skills which nobody taught you, nobody taught me. We learned to read. So when you go to a shop and you pick up a piece of food and you find it has got 10, 12 ingredients, it's not food. It is some junk made in a plant being shoved down your throat and making you addicted by adding excess sugar and excess salt. It is as simple as that. Now, same thing, when I can do videos on why term insurance, but your son or daughter can go and buy a term insurance with return of premium, which is a horrible product, right? So understand all the pressures of the children. In fact, I have two friends who are child psychiatrists or child psychologists, and they say the biggest cause of stress for children are parents, because we judge them on the career choices, on the friend choices, on the timing, on watching TV or laptop or phone, using too much time spent on that, not communicating enough with parents but communicating with friends, willing to go out with friends, not willing to come out with parents. All these things we keep cribbing, we keep judging, and we are perhaps a little jealous because none of this was available to us when we were young, and I think it's some kind of a jealousy which allows us to do this nonsense and shitty behavior towards our children. Understand, children cannot be taught. It will have to be caught. If you fight with your wife about money, or if you make disparaging comments about her family background and the money that she had or did not have, or the career she could have had, and you're doing all these dirty things, very good chance that your children will pick up all the bad things that you have about money. Money is something there's nothing emotional. It's a commodity. You have it, you don't have it, right? So first of all, understand the basics, that money will never be taught to your child by anybody other than you. There is no school which teaches about money. And if you don't teach them that there is something called value buying, that you go to a particular market to buy a particular thing and you get it at a great price, right? Or things like that. You have to teach what is value buying, what is not value buying, why you eat in a particular restaurant. Everything you can involve your children, right? Don't take emotional decision. Don't say you will not understand. Kids understand better than people, older people. So I find more matured 15, 18-year-olds than I find 50-year-olds. 50-year-olds are far more emotional about money and about their employer sacking them and things like that. Kids are not. They're far more practical. They know what they can get from you and what they have to negotiate out of you. They know it very well. They know how to save money. They know how to cheat. I keep saying the strictest parents bring up the best liars, right? Kids know how to adapt. Kids are better than animals. If animals can adapt, so can kids. Kids know what lie to tell which parent and get their things done. And I don't blame them, I blame you. Because if you are a poor communicator, generally very good chances that you are sending very, very wrong signals about money. You made some investment, then you blamed somebody, you blamed your advisor, you blamed your brother, sister, dentist, gynecologist, doesn't matter. People do things and without understanding, and then they blame somebody else. The question is, whose advice should you take? I mean, you can't take everybody's advice and then say, oh, he gave me wrong advice. Don't ask your dentist which company share to buy. Don't ask your gynecologist which mutual fund to invest in, right? It's a question of whom you ask that is important. It is not a question of what advice they give you. The fact that you asked the wrong person, the fact that you chase returns, all this the children will know at some stage, and then they will be telling among their friends, क्या ज्ञान देता है, खुद तो वाट लगाया अपने पैसे की. Then don't blame me that kids know too much, right? When you sit and communicate with your children about choices that you make, about the vacations that you take, the mode of transport, the hotel that you live, and why once in a while you live in a very luxurious hotel, but otherwise you live in a budget hotel, saying I can accommodate more trips in a budget hotel than in luxurious hotel, but once in a while we will stay in a very good hotel, we will fly good class, good airline, stay in good places, right? So once in a while you may do this, but explain why you're doing it. Don't assume that this is there by right. Sometimes it is there by their right, sometimes it is not, right? What they get is because that is socialism. At home there is socialism. So every child of yours gets access to your money, to your education, to your contacts, everything. They get immaterial of how capable they are. But the minute they go out into the outside world, then it is capitalism. The best you will get what you deserve, not because you're born to a particular house. So lot of these tangible, all these abstract ideas can be converted to tangible reality. To say, okay, film industry is risky and therefore you might get success at a much later stage. Sustaining yourself till you get that success in terms of looking good, in terms of spending money on nutrition, on gym, etc., that is necessary. So therefore the cost of being in film industry is very high. Therefore only children of very, very rich people or whose parents are in this business and doing well, only they can afford to have an unearning kid till 30, 40, 45, not earning enough money because the parent has earned enough money. Your child may not have that option in terms of career, so therefore whether you can be a painter, whether you can be a hero or a heroine or whatever, can you be in the film industry, that is something for you to decide based on the capital that you are willing to provide. So tell them all that. Tell them that money has to be deployed, money has to earn money. This is what I do for a profession. It's a very difficult, hard profession with a lot of uncertainty. Money doesn't come just because you put the ATM card in the ATM machine. It comes because somebody has already filled that machine, and that is what I do from 9 to 5, 9 to 9, whatever, 7 days a week, 6 days a week. Explain all those things. Then make them book airline tickets or train tickets, whatever. My daughter could do it from class 7 or class 8, and she would then say these are the choices and all that. Teach them. Who else is going to teach them? So she once said, oh, now I have your credit card number, I can do whatever I want. I said, look at what you will be missing out. Look at what I will not be giving you if you do something like that, right? Sorry. So teach them things because of the practical experience that you have, and you sit with them and teach them, and make sure that their mistakes which they make are small and not too big. If you're very rich and your money is getting managed by a fund manager, that's a 15, 16, it's a good age to put some money into their account. Assign a relationship manager to them and ask them to manage their portfolio with the help of an advisor. It's a good thing to do. Let them learn how to interact with the advisor, what to ask him, what questions to ask, and not just say, oh, he's my dad's friend, therefore I'm investing through him. Let them ask questions. Let them ask why ELSS, why retirement fund, why not ELSS, why not retirement? Why have you suggested something different for my father than for me? Perfectly good questions to ask. but you have to encourage that, right? If you do not encourage that, and also tell them, look, I made a will, copy of the will is here, this is how I'm going to distribute the wealth. Believe me, 16, 17-year-olds understand all this. Tell them why all this is necessary, why it is convenient, why you are spending money on a particular cause, why you give a particular charity. Let them pick their own charity. They don't have to give to the same charity which you give, but let them get to the habit of giving. Let them get into the habit of giving away their toys, their books which they don't use, etc. Teach them decluttering. Clothes. It is perfectly possible that they bought some clothes which they did not like and they did not use. Don't get judgmental. We all make mistakes. We all buy shares which tank, with which we lose money. So kids will make those wrong choices. Don't think you made the best choices. Your mind nicely fools you into believing that you made the finest choices. You didn't. You messed up, right? So if you have messed up with your finances, don't get into your children's finances and mess it up. I know people who do it. I know children who think that is right. Right? So if you have been brought up on UTI and LIC products only, time for you to wake up and see that there are better products available. Yeah, and it is absolutely necessary that you don't interfere in your child's life. The earlier that parents realize that they are completely incapable of giving them career advice, financial advice, marital advice, behavior advice, it's great for both the family and for the children and the parents. It's a great thing. Tell them what options you had, what you took, what you could have taken, what was right, what was wrong, why somebody else took a different option. Don't get judgmental. Tell them about the mistakes that you made. Tell them about the financial mistakes that you made or your parents made of chasing return, losing capital, whatever, or buying a wrong equity, and also don't blame. Don't say grandfather lost money during Harshad Mehta times. Yes, it is true, but grandfather lost money because of grandfather's mistake. Father lost money because of father's mistake. Don't shift the blame to somebody else. Don't say SEBI should have done something, right? 1992 SEBI was not there. So just stop being judgmental about what a regulator can do, what he should do. It is not your job to tell what a regulator should do. He will do what he has to do. He is a babu at heart, so he will behave like a babu. His behavior is not going to change. You teach them how to work around and what else they could do with money, how it can be used, why they can do business, can't do business, what is personal guarantee, why they should not give personal guarantee to friends, loans, right? All that will happen once you take up a job. Even if you have a 25,000 rupee job, it's not a small amount of money, and giving bank guarantees doesn't make any sense, right? So be careful. Teach them all those things, right? Getting them to read Subramani is a good idea, but if you think it is dull and boring, it is for you to read and explain it to him in context, like telling them stories, etc. with the money stories. That is the way they will learn. Make sure that they enjoy it. There are books available. There are websites available. Websites better than Subramani, at least for children. I am not aiming at children, though there are posts that I have done for children. So yes, reading books, reading websites, all that makes sense. Learn to do it. First learn to do it yourself, then learn to communicate with your children. Thank you.